Hello everyone, welcome back to some more Kerbal Space Program. Now this isn't the video that usually goes out at this time. Usually it's from the depth. Instead I'm gonna switch around Kerbal Space Program and from the depth, which means Kerbal Space Program earlier. We're gonna get Bill out. He's gonna do some Kerbal engineering for us. Check his inventory. He does not currently have what he needs. That's alright. Now, I might be being a little cryptic, but everything will become clear in just a moment. This has to do with the Kerbal inventory and Kerbal attachment system mods. We're going to be flying back here to the 6K container. We're going to open up Bill's inventory. We can drop the K4 explosives on the stack already there. We've got some beer. Some tacos. Obviously we need to stay refreshed out in space. And we're gonna get ourselves... Oh. Yeah, there they go. Portable struts. We're gonna hit his lights up, there we go. Now before launching I did assign, or at least attach, a couple of these. Those are portable strut adapters. Now what do they do? Quite simple. What we're going to do is we're going to split one of these. We're going to take number 3. Make sure to not attach it in the wrong way. And we're going to bolt it on there. Now what does that do? Not a whole lot until we go out and link these two. Now we have a strut connecting the engine module to the lab. Which means more structural integrity, basically. Now we're going to quickly head over to the other side. Split one off. We don't really have to split one off, I just like doing it. Quickly bolt that on. And we're going to link. And link. Now we have another strut on the other side. They're not equal, but that doesn't really matter. As long as they are attached, we should be good. Now over here we have some... There we go, there they are. I want to get this guy. I want to detach and grab and attach it over there because it might be... We have hidden one of those on the engine module, although in the case I think I might have actually just deleted it, which is okay. Just gonna slow ourselves down here. Detach and grab. And attach over here. Now what does that do, you might ask? Honestly, not a whole lot until we link it over here. Now we can transfer resources. I mean, not that we really needed to do that. We already have the docking ports, etc. It just felt nice to do, you know? Just making sure that the alignment of the craft didn't change. And we're gonna fly over to the other side and do the exact same thing. Now why do I do that? Well, because it's fun. Honestly, there's no like requirement to do it. This can definitely help in like space station or certain like base scenarios where you actually get up to a planet and then establish a base. Sure, can lane connections like this with like ground pylons, that might allow you to actually link up stuff that otherwise wouldn't be able to transfer resources. So it does have a purpose. I just like doing it here because it feels nice to be able to do some engineering on a ship in space, you know? Making sure that everything stays attached and all that. It just feels nice. Now we should, or we might, have some struts on here. I'm not entirely sure. I think this was one of the pre-attached ones. So what we're going to do is split 2. And we're going to attach a strut over here. Attach a strut over here. And we're going to link those up to make sure that the engine modules are bolted on properly. Because of course we want to make sure that we're not going to drift off. And I am keeping a close eye on our propellant here, just making sure that Bill doesn't get stranded in space. There you go, another strut attached. There are spare ones on the modules over here, but I think what we'll do is we'll throw out a quick save. And we're going to send Bill back to his cabin, and we'll test this puppy out and see if she works alright. And what better way than to fly to Minmus? Because we have a bunch of tourists on board that would like to visit Minmus. Right, quick save has been done. Let's set up a maneuver node. I'm gonna burn roughly over here. I don't want to warp to it. I want to set a maneuver node. I'm gonna try and catch up to Minmus. Which might be difficult, I'm not gonna lie. Set Minmus as a target. The apoapsis is 46 million. Okay, just making double sure. Minmus is gonna be over there by the time we get there. Which isn't great. Yeah, that is not going to be able to get us an intercept. So what we're going to do is we're going to move the orbit around to here. Try and set up an intersect at the exact moment that the planet gets to the point where we have the least ascending and descending, etc. And then we're going to basically... Did we seriously set that up to be in 9? Oh no, wait, it's just... Right-clicking on these nodes sets them to display permanently. So yeah, that sort of threw me off there, but it's fine. We have a moon intercept at that point. We're basically going to be waiting a long time in orbit. Yeah, just right-clicking the node here. God, there's a lot of info just permanently stuck on the screen now. That's annoying. Let me quickly get rid of all that by doing that. Yeah, we're just gonna... Basically, pressing this button means that you move in time one orbit. So, for example, we're gonna wait a day. We're gonna wait one rotation, and then we'll try again. And now we actually have our maneuver node set up, and we will get more than an encounter. By the way, I've set it up to be a base because it just looks cool. Looks better to me than having a random generic ship icon, you know? Because this is technically a base. It's just a giant one. I'm gonna be right back, and then we'll do a maneuver to Minmus. Alright, so here we are. I'm gonna quickly remove the warning that I set in Kerbal Alarm Clock to automatically help me warp down in case of... Well, I don't want to miss anything, let's just put it like that. We're basically waiting for, I don't know, the minute mark, the 30-second mark, something like that. I'm actually debating whether or not I just want to burn right away. Yeah, that might help. We're actually encountering the moon now. We might be able to pull off a moon flyby on this encounter. But I will have to quick save just in case. Yeah, quick save, and time to see how this disaster falls apart. Well, that was quick. Right, lesson learned. It does not want to attach back there, so we're gonna send Bill out again. Probably should have quick saved a little earlier, so we could attach and then still do the maneuver, but hey, I learn when doing, so, you know, whoops. Thankfully, we do have a bunch of these here. Let's just make sure that we have Bill stabilized here, and then we're gonna attach some more struts. I think that might be a good idea. Right, there we go, Bill. Let's go see if we can fix this problem. would be good, as I would like to keep this module when we're traveling across space. That would be great. Right, there we go. And they are now going to link themselves up. Excellent. We'll head over to the other side. Just quickly make sure that we're not drifting off anywhere. We're getting better at this. That should hopefully help. Just give it some more stability. Now, of course, we'll do a double quick save here. Just to make sure that, hey, we did some more engineering. We don't want to lose any of that. And quick save. Point me prograde, please. We're going. We're still going. Half speed. 2 times. Nope. It's still broke. So what exactly happened there? Structural failure on linkage between Kerbal S3 14400 and 3 to... Huh. So where did that occur then? Suddenly it failed all the way over there. So what happened here? We don't have any control left of the ship. But we did say attach this time, which I think is a plus. We'll probably have to start up over here then. Back to the quick save. You see, it's a moment like this when I'm very thankful that I sent up a bunch of spare things. Because as it turns out, this whole engineering thing might be a bit harder than it first looked. Right, so here's our second set, and I think it's our final set of spare stuff. So let's try and not screw this up royally. There we go. We have all our stuff. To the engineering bay. Or rather, to the front of the ship. Come on, Bill. Get it together. I think it might be a good idea to attach over there. Sure. Now the question I have is, we cannot unlink that. Alright. We're gonna have to attach another one over there. There we go. Structural integrity. It's very important, of course. And get another one out like that, and get it link over here. There we go. Now let's hope that that did the trick. I would be very happy if it did. Otherwise, well, we're not going to reach Minmus and Disco, obviously. One more quick save before we hit the road. Again. Less failures this time, but there was still a failure between the Derpdigital and the Mark III to 3.75 meter adapter. And there they went. It's also the rechargeable banks that occasionally break. I'm not entirely sure how to fix this, if I'm completely honest. We might just have to not fly on full thrust. I never realized that those adapters would be so structurally weak. Yeah, we now have no control over this whatsoever. We would be stuck in space forever. Not the best idea we've ever had. And again, if we wanted to, we could probably get this to break. Actually, it's surprisingly hard to break. Gotta say. Well, back to the quick save. Okay, well, here we are again. Nothing went wrong ever. Do want to point out, we weigh a total of 300 tons. That does complicate matters a little bit. Thankfully, we have the most efficient engines there can be. And everything is wonderful. I'm gonna dare push it up to half. I don't want to risk any more than that. Maybe 2/3? So we do seem to be offset a little bit. That might be because the weight is not entirely split. Yeah. Well, we will correct that once we're at Minmus. Oh, we're being very risky. It seems to be working okay. I'm definitely having to keep manual control of this vessel for a while, but that is because, well, we are off center of balance. I might actually be able to fix that a bit. We should be slowing down so we have more control. Yeah, we're gonna pump out all the oxidizer. Hopefully pray that this balances the ship out somewhat. So we're having a bit of trouble on our maiden voyage. That's alright. I mean, we're certainly not the first to have problems, right? We're not gonna lose 1,600 people because we hit a space iceberg or anything like that. Not yet, at least. Those out in an effort to try and balance the ship out that little bit more. And then we should be okay. Like, things are getting better. See? More balanced. There we go. We'll push it back up to 2/3, not over it. Preferably. And she is a beauty to control now. So that's nice. We're definitely not burning at the optimal point anymore, but that's alright. We can sustain this for a while. Actually, we had the broadband scanner on for a while. Can we be very cheeky and check on Kerbin resources? No, we can't. So, if you're in a polar orbit, which goes from here to here instead of a... God, I forgot the word. I am so bad at English at times. We're basically in an orbit around the equator right now, instead of a polar orbit. And if you're in a polar orbit, you can basically just hang out, slowly scan the entire planet for resources. Whereas in an equator orbit, I forgot the term. I am so sorry. This is not the best day I'm having. Anyway, when you're around when you're in a polar orbit, you can just sit back, have a scanner on, and you will eventually get like resource data of all the planet because you're in a polar orbit. You're gonna fly over all the bits of the planet, even if it might take months. You're gonna get data on all the things. So what we're probably gonna do at some point is we're gonna hang out with this ship in a polar orbit everywhere, and we're gonna have a ton of fun. Actually doing pretty okay as it is. I'll start IRESU for liquid turning back into maneuver node. Actually, I think we're not making all that much progress anymore. So we're gonna cancel this burn. We're gonna set it to happen one orbit later. Actually, no, you know what? We'll readjust. When we get over here to our apoapsis, we are gonna increase our periapsis above 70k. We're just swooping around. There we go. Now we have focus on our own craft again, which is always nice, you know. We're gonna rotate ourselves around. At some point, I'm just checking the log to make sure nothing broke. We are on the dark side of the planet right now, which is unfortunate. We'll be out of here in no time, I promise. We're actually fairly well balanced now, I must say. Liquid fuel seems to be decently balanced, which is nice. We have plenty left in the tank anyway. Now let's quickly go burn at a third. Now we'll go up to 2/3 and we'll increase our periapsis above 70k so we don't fall back into the atmosphere. Would be a waste to see this burn up. Although, knowing me, we're probably going to send it into the atmosphere at some point to burn it up just precisely for that purpose. A possible end of the season thing? I don't know. Let's add a maneuver over here, because that would be balanced. We're going to ignore the moon if we can. Although the moon might slingshot us into the planet, actually. It might well happen. Again, it could also theoretically not happen. Wow. Using the moon as a gravity assist is actually a thing. Like, NASA did some amazing things. They got an intercept with the moon and then Earth again to propel things. It's just amazing. The craft to Jupiter, that's it. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm not exactly clear on the specifics here. You'd have to ask Scott Manley. He knows. He's a beast at such things. Oh, looks like we might be able to get a minimus encounter anyway. Closest approach, 21k separation. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep that around. We're going to now warp ahead. And I do want to at least get ourselves underway to Minimus before we go. It would be a shame to say, like, hey, we're going to go on our maiden voyage, and then never go on our maiden voyage. Thankfully, with the 4 large solar panels, we have no trouble getting electric charge for our laboratory and all whatnot. And thanks to our amount of, like, rocket bays and... Rocket bays? What the hell? No! Electric banks! Yes, that's the word. Thanks to our electric banks, we have no trouble getting or making sure that we still have enough electric charge for everything that we want to do. That's the word. I can be so weird at times. Right, slow yourself down, and 2/3 speed, we're going to be burning. Needs to be reasonably balanced. sort of quick save during a burn and everything went horribly. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to fix it because everything just keeps going horribly wrong today. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to can the episode here. Main voyage, yeah, it turns out it has a lot of problems. We'll be fixing that next episode. Until then, if you've enjoyed this video, then please do leave a like down below. Leave a comment if you have anything to say. Until next time, try not to build anything too big in space, it just goes horribly wrong. Have a good one, folks.